So hey guys, what's up, NPS3D here and welcome back to another excited visual effect tutorial. Today we are going to use Blender version 4 inbuilt tools and everything to create this amazing visual effect scene. So let me show you. So once you will go to the blender.org, you will see the latest version. Right now it's 3.6.5 because the date is 13 November and probably tomorrow it's gonna release the Blender version 4.0. So go here and download it, and if you are not able to see, go down to the Blender experimental and here you will see all the latest build. Okay, this is you can see this is the main footage which I have, and I have another version where I added some contrast to create more good tracks. This is the 360 environment. Okay, so everything will be available into my video description, so you can go there and download it and you can practice it. And I'll open the Blender 4.0 beta version because it's not official yet, and I'm going to go to the plus icon and go to the visual effect, and probably I hope you know a little bit Blender basics. So go into the plus icon and go to the visual effect and choose motion tracking, and I already created a detailed video where I explained almost every single thing about the 3D tracking inside Blender. So I will put the link on my video description and also on this I button. You can go there and check it. Select this one and drag and drop it here and it will open this. Make sure to check your video details. So in details here you can see 1080 by 1920 and 30 frames, so which I have to do over here manually. And frame rate 30, and just click on this prefetch and it will load this video into Blender memories. And also here you can see the end frame is 250, but the footage end frame is different. So I'll click on this set scene frames and it is changed. I'll go quickly and do some settings. That's like coloration. I'll put 0.9, so it will track the point once it's sure 90%, and enable normalize. And on the motion model I will choose perspective. Pretty much it. Let's click on this detect feature and you will see a bunch of tracking points. And if I will reveal this, here are controls which I can manipulate. Just like I can put 90 over here and it will add bunch of more points. On the threshold I'll maybe add 0.4, and this looks pretty much good for me because I am planning to add car spawn animation over here on the ground. So this looks enough for me. I can click on this track forward button and it will track every selection. So let's click here and you can see on the graph is creating some lines which basically showing our movement. Once I reach on the last frame, I will click once again the detect feature, so it will add more, the same double points over here. And right now you can see these are the points which is selected now. So without touching anything else, I will click here and it will try to track those points backward. So now we have enough details, enough tracking details for our footage. Next step is to go to the solve panel, and here our goal is to make our camera solve and try to get the average error below 1 pixel or under 0.5 pixel. So these are the few settings which will help me to solve the errors. So right now, without doing anything, just click on this button called solve camera motion and let's see how much error we get. So right now it's 2.79 pixels errors, which is bad. Let's click on this clip display and go to the info. If I will click A, it will select all the markers, and if I select one, it will select the selected markers. So right now you can see, if I'll zoom, right now you can see its average error is 3.29, which is bad. So right now my goal is to find the bad trackers and clean that. I can go to the clean up, and here is an option called filter track. Let's click it and you will see a drop down, and here is a number. So basically if I'll put a number over here, let's suppose 2, it will try to find all the errors, which is like you can see 2 and here 4, and let's delete it. So now you can see our graph is also cleared. Let's click on solve camera motion once again, and now we have 2.64. The another reason of getting bad camera solve or the error is the wrong focal length. So if I'll go to the track and the camera, and here the option called length. So right now it's solving our 3D scene based on this focal length, which is 24 mm. So if you have information about your camera lens, you can manually put over here. Otherwise you can click on this button called focal length and click solve camera motion, and it will try to get the good one. So here you can see we have 0.32, which looks absolutely perfect for me. I don't think we have to do anything else. So next step is to creating the scene. So right now you can see we did every task over here into the motion tracking tab, and we have not in anything into this outliner and also over into our 3D scene. So if we'll go scroll down, we have a scene setup option. We'll click on this button called setup tracking scene, and it will create a bunch of things. Let's go to the layout, and here you can see in the 3D viewport we have a light, camera, and a cube, and also a ground plane. And if you'll focus over here, we have a foreground and a background collection. And if I'll go here, we have a two separate kind of a comp or the layers where everything separately. So I will talk these things little later, but for now our goal is to get a good camera shot. So if I'll go to the first frame and if I'll play, you can see it's almost following the movement but not accurately, and at the same time it's also not lying on the floor. So our goal is to make it look better and look believable and good. Okay, so go to the motion tracking again. First we will decide the 3D origin. So let's go over here almost on the middle, select this point, and we have an option in orientation called set origin. Click here and you can see something has been changed. Okay, the next step is to find the floor. So I will select 3 markers are necessary. So I will select this 2 and maybe this one 3. We have 3 markers on the ground, and let's click on this floor, and you can see instantly our floor has been realigned and reoriented actually. So looks good, but right now I feel the scale is too high. Dimension of this cube is 2 by 2 by 2 meter, which looks a lot big. So now again I will try to find 2 trackers, any like this one and this one, and just make the set scale. So by default it's set to 1. Let's check set scale, and it's more big, so I will make it 4 set scale, and you can see let's make it 3, and 3 looks okay for me. Let's go again into the layout tab and let's play and check. So you can see orientation is good, but tracking is still not good. So the last fix which I want to share, and this is a pro trick, let's select our camera, go to the camera properties and go to this focal length. So right now it's 31.6815. I will divide this from 1.77778. So this is actually a hack to get accurate or almost nearly perfect focal length. So if I'll go to the layout tab again, right now you can see now it's perfectly following the camera movement and everything, and this looks good for me. Go to the motion tracking, you can select any point and make it set origin, and it will align everything according to that. So let's Control S to save this project. I was talking about these things, foreground and background. So there are many artists available onto this whole planet, and the workflow for doing any task with a different artist, it's kind of a different. So for me, how I do everything inside Blender, so I do tracking, 3D simulation or 3D animation or anything inside Blender, and I do compositing part inside a different program. So for that I'm going to delete these things, and I will show you how I did all these things. So first make sure to go here and choose foreground. Okay, and now let's select this ground, light and camera, and move these 3 into the foreground. So let's select this light, delete it, and also delete this background collection. So now we have a foreground. I'm just double tap over here and rename this to the tracking. Okay, let's click here and go to the background and delete this. So now we have only this foreground stuff and this tracking collection, and we will talk about this compositing stuff little later, and I will show you how easily you can delete all this node and set up a simple with 2 to 3 nodes. Let's go to the layout and let's recheck again, and everything seems fine for me. So go to the camera properties, background image, and click on this folder and just choose our spawn footage, open, and boom, and also into the camera properties enable the opacity to full 1. So this is ground, so I'm going to, let's go here and enable motion tracking so that I can see all the nulls, and also maybe I can just down the size. Let's select the plane, press tab to edit mode and press 2 to select this edge EX EY and just move it a little further, and same I will do here EY and press EX and just move it something like that, a rough floor which indicate that this is our ground plane. Maybe if I feel to extend it a bit, same goes over here. So the next step is to hide our cube and just hide it. And now let's import our car. So in this case you can import any car. I downloaded a car from Sketchfab. Let me import first. So go to the file, append, and I will use this car collection and choose append, and go to the collection and car and append. So you can see we have a car collection. Let's drag and drop out so I can explain it in a better way. So right now you can see we have a body like this. We have a front left, front right, and rear right and rear left, something like that. So the goal is to download a car, separate the base mesh separately and all 4 wheels separately, so that we can rig it in a way so that it can interact with grounds and everything. I can select this car and select object, so it will select all the object. Press S and scale it a bit until you satisfy, because we will not be able to change the scale later. That's why press N and you can see the scale and all the orientation. So what I will do, I'll press Ctrl A and choose all transform, so it will applying all the values. So right now Blender will understand this is the real scale, real position, rotation and everything of this object. Once you done, right click, make it set origin to center of volume. Next I will go to the RBC. This is an add-on which we will use to rig this. So let's click on this add-on, add rig, and it will add a bunch of stuff over here. And if I will reveal this, you can see we have a RBC ground. I'm going to disable this for now. Okay, so I'm going to disable this for now. And now we have some options into our this add-on panel. So it's asking us to do a simple thing. So select the vehicle body and choose vehicle body. Select the front left, make it front left. Once you done, just click on this button called generate a rig and it will generate a rig. Okay, so now you can see it's wrapped up with something, and we have also a control over here. So let's play and we will see we have good this. You can see the soccer, and here are few controls which I already talked about my previous tutorial. You can go there and check it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to only focus on the art which we are going to create today. So next step is go to the camera view, and now I can easily rotate this. So I can press RZ and I can rotate it in this direction. Okay, and if I'll play, you can see. Okay, and you can see it's almost it is real time, bro. This looks really good. Control just save it, press N to hide, and let's create two separate window. Let's add some environment map and let's add some lighting so that we can work. Next, control is to save this, and in Blender version 4 we have a file and increment. So I can click here and it will add. You can see over here Blender version 4, and now it's version 5. Anyway, now let's go to the rendered mode. Okay, rendered view. Let's go over here to render properties, and on the render engine I will change to cycle because cycle is realistic render, and you will see something weird stuff. These object. So what I will do, I will do the C add-on, and these are, so I will simply select and disable it from viewport. So now I have also a 360 environment map for this location. So I'll go to the environment map, choose the color and choose environment texture, and go to the open and choose the environment 360 environment map and open, and you will see, oh my god, this looks realistic, man. You can see. So only 360 environment can make your scene look much realistic, guys. So you can see we have not added any extra light, we only have the environment map, and you can see how beautiful this thing looks like. So you can see now I can simply get some idea what I can do, and yeah, looks really good, man. Anyways, let's focus on to art. So here is our main window. Okay, so I will disable this and make this to the shader editor. So go here and choose shader editor, and let's change this to the world. Okay, so now we can control the environment. So let's make this view into the rendered view, and I'll select this, press Ctrl T. Make sure is your node wrangler is enabled, otherwise you will not able to see this. So here I'm rotating the Z direction, something like that, you can see. So this looks pretty much good for me, and now I can just enable the transparent, and you can see this looks much more, this looks really good, guys. I don't think I have to do any extra light into our scene. Okay, so make sure to don't disable this rig control. Okay, select this rig control, and where is our ground? So let's enable the ground. Select this rig control, press GZ and just move it. You have to go over here into the first frame, GZ, and just move it top. So my goal was to make a spawn animation where car is falling from the sky, and if I play, you will see I don't have to do anything. Now our car looks like fall from the ground, and you can see it's still going backward. The solution is I can press N and go to the RBC, and here is the option called, you can also play with the turn radius. I'll go to the control, and there will be a like motor torque and brake strength. So I can make the brake strength little high, or maybe I can just enable the brake strength, so it will once it will fall, it will try to stay on the same place. You can see how easy the whole process is, and once it fall, you can see it's not like a smooth animation, because whenever I try to go back and forth, it's not smooth, because this is the physics. So you have to go inside this record cache, click here, and you will I'm using this add-on into Blender version 4. It's not made for this, but I have the solution, because this is the rigid body physics. So I can go into the scene properties, go to the rigid body world, and here is an option called cache. I can directly bake it over here. So let's bake our dynamics, and you can see it's baked over here, and if I play, it will play. Oh yeah, that's is good. You can more play of this drive, steering, brake, and motor torquing, and few other things, and you can get a good result. I'll move next, and I will talk about the other things as well. As let's go to the render part, and this is our ground, which has a shadow catcher already applied. So if you select our ground plane, let's go to the object properties, and there will be a view visibility, and if I disable this to the shadow catcher, you can see the ground colors, which I don't like. So I will just create another window for the shader editor, and over here I will change this to the object and click new material over here, and you can see this is the Blender version 4. Things has been changed, a lot of stuff has been changed in Blender version 4.0. So I'm going to use the video over here and choose color into the base color, cyclic auto refresh, and make the frames to 1000, and I can press Ctrl T and choose over here to the window, and you can see now it's appearing. If you want to play if you want to add anything in between, so I want to add a curse effect, so I'll press Shift A and search a curse effect and plug it over here. And if you want to make it a bit bright, you can just do it, and here you can see it's repeating. So I will go to the repeat and just make it extend, not repeat, and let's go to the here and make it render region, so I can only focus on the viewport part, the render camera part, and this looks enough and looks good for me. I can also play with the roughness, and again I'll just select this and make it render the shadow catcher, and this looks pretty much good for me. So yeah, this is everything. I don't have to do anything else. If you want to go to the next level, you can add some lights over here which can mimic these things, and maybe that can also add some lights over here. So this is good. The next thing which you have to take care of when you are going to render, let's go to the compositing part, and you will see a few things, just like there are 2 render layers and a lot of stuff. So what I will do, I will deselect over here and select into the compositor like this, and also the same image into this viewer, and the rest of the things delete. I can go to the render properties, and here is the max samples. I'll make it 256, and denoiser, make sure to choose optics, and the light path here I can play with the glossy, like I want to make the glossy, and diffuse 12 samples, and this is pretty much good for me. I can go to the render image and I can see if everything is working fine. The goal is here to get this car with these ambient occlusion shadows with alpha, and if you will get, we will composite this image later. So yeah, this is the tutorial, and once you finished rendering, you have to just click on this render animation, and it will render everything. Once you done, you can go inside the After Effects or any program and just import that clip and just render it. That's it. And the output, you can go here to the output directly and just go here and decide a location where you want to do it, and just render it, and make sure to guys add motion blur. So let's go to the motion blur. Here is motion blur already assigned. In the shutter curve, I will choose this, maybe this one, the smooth one. Okay, so you can see this motion blur looks cool. So yeah, I hope you really like this tutorial. I hope you learned something new, and if this is the case, please hit the like button, subscribe our channel, and press 3D, because there are tons of tutorials available which will help you to understand the CGI and visual effect and 3D stuff. For more, you can definitely visit my visual effect course called Modern Visual Effect, which has more in-depth step-by-step knowledge which will help you to learn from the basics to the advanced level. So yeah, thanks for watching this tutorial. Thanks for loving me. I am NPS3D, and I will see you next time. Until then, keep working, keep smiling. I will see you. Bye-bye. And the project file will be available on my Patreon page, so don't forget to check it. Thank you.